Have you noticed that nowadays, everywhere you go to buy or pay for an item, there's option for a tip? Like, it doesn't matter where you go. It could be like a coffee shop. Like, you be at a drive-through window and there's like an option for you to tip. Or like everywhere you go nowadays, there's a tipping, or someone is asking you to tip. And online, tipping culture thing is divided. Some people are more for like tipping, and I think the people that are in support, like major support of tipping, are people that work in the service industry. And on the other hand, there are people that are saying tipping is not supposed to be forced, tipping is supposed to be an optional. You know,
Public service announcement, because some of y'all just don't fucking know. Waiters and waitresses, bartenders included, they make about $2 an hour. And think about that. $2 an hour. Y'all motherfuckers are coming out here and ruining it for all of us. Because there's some really good fucking bartenders and really good servers that enjoy what they do and cannot keep doing it because y'all motherfuckers come here and don't want to tip. If you don't have money to tip, Kroger, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Walmart, food stamps. I don't care where you're getting money from or where you're spending it. Go home and cook. If you can't cook, starve. Quit fucking doing that. We're at a restaurant tonight, Thursday night football, date night. There is a man in here, and he is awesome. He just had a $400 tab. These motherfuckers came in here and ate, and ate, and ate, and they tipped $16. I'd have slapped the shit out of you. If you'd have left me $16, I'd have handed it back and said, motherfucker, you need this more than me. That is rude as fuck, and you should be embarrassed, and I hope you can't sleep, and I hope you get a cramp in your fucking leg and trip and fall and piss on yourself when you wake up to pee tonight. You are a real piece of shit. If you cannot tip, stay the fuck at home. You're garbage, you're trash, and I have nothing for you. Goodbye.
I know this video is about to ruffle some feathers, but I do not give a fuck. Tipping should not be a requirement. I feel like a lot of you guys feel entitled to people's money and you feel like people are required to tip you, and that's incorrect. I tip based on customer service, so if you give me shitty customer service, you're not gonna get a tip. This goes for door dashers or waitresses or any other job that involves tips. At the end of the day, I am not responsible for covering the rest or the remaining balance that your business couldn't. And I'm already knowing some of you guys are going to be like, well, if you can afford a tip, well, you should not be eating out. No, bitch, nobody asked you to fill up a position that relies on tips. I remember when I used to be a door dasher, and I never gave a fuck about tips. People just tipped me because they wanted to, and I was very grateful. But I never went with that mentality that, well, they better tip me or I'm going to fuck up their food. Like, some of y'all go with that mentality, which messes it up for other people. So other people are not going to want to tip you because y'all go with that mentality that people owe you their money and then some.
Unpopular opinion, but if you guys can't tip when you go out to eat, order for takeout, okay? No one's forcing you to sit there and get served by the server. Order for takeout and don't be disrespectful and not tip the server because they work off tips, okay? You don't have to sit there and let them serve you.
I've seen this trending post on Facebook that says that if you can't afford to tip your waitress, don't go out to eat. And I've got a little bit of an issue with that. How about this? If you can't afford to survive off the wages that you and your employer agreed upon when you went to work at that place, find a different job. Because it's not the consumer's responsibility to pay your income. It's actually your employer's, all right? You're not a charity case. And if you have bad service, which a lot of people in the restaurant industry I've came across lately have bad service, okay? You're not even earning it. Now you're expecting it, right? And maybe you're mad at your job because you don't get paid shit, which is reasonable. I've been in that position before, and what I did was I found a different job. So maybe it's time you guys do that. Because for a lot of people going out to eat, right, very, very few people in America actually have real wealth. So a lot of people going out to eat, it is a reward after they've just busted their ass for a long period of time. And you're going to be mad at them and be snotty because they didn't fucking donate to you? Get real. Come on.
Not go out to eat if you're gonna not tip or tip very shitty. The whole point of going out to eat is that they serve you. They come up to you, they ask you what you want to drink. They bring you the drinks, they bring you silverware, they bring you the food, they clean your stuff up. To think like, well, not everyone's entitled to tip. Then don't go out to eat. Get your ass up, cook your own food, clean up your own table. Everyone knows that servers literally get paid like $1 an hour. Their whole livelihood does revolve around tipping, and that's not new. I just think it's so ignorant and like entitled to especially have money and be like, well, like it was just like normal service. And a normal tip would be 20%. If they do a horrible job or they're not a good server at all and they give you attitude and they're dismissive, sure, then tip 0. Tip 5% if you will. But having normal service means a normal tip, which is 20%. I personally will tip 20% no matter what type of service I got, just because I know that there's a lot of factors that go into being a good server. Like maybe you're just not attentive because you have 6 other tables, or maybe the food takes long because the cooks messed it up. The only times I never tip is like a self-serve froyo shop. And it's like, okay, well, what am I tipping you for? I literally did this by myself. But other than that, tip.
I'm gonna say, and I don't care who gets mad. When you go to a restaurant and you do not want to leave a tip, you don't have to leave a tip. You leave a tip because you want to, for gratuity, but a tip is freaking optional. I don't know why people go all crazy saying, oh, you got a tip. If you're not going to tip, then go get food at fucking McDonald's and Jack in the Box. What about the people that work in construction? What about the people that work in other places? Do they get tips? No, they don't get tips. The people that do yard work, the farm workers, all these people that work in these warehouses, do they get tips? No, they don't get tips. So I don't know why you guys go all freaking crazy saying, oh, well, waiters only get paid $2 an hour. Well, go ask your fucking boss about it. Go tell your boss to pay you more. Don't depend on people that give you tips, because sometimes people don't want to give tips. Tip is a gratuity. It's not mandatory. So therefore, if they don't give you a tip, don't get fucking mad about it. If you're working at a waitress, then fucking live with it. Deal with it. Tipping is optional. It's not mandatory. And I don't care what anybody sees. That's the way it goes. And if they say, oh, you're a freaking Titus and this and this and that, I don't care. I don't care. If I don't want to leave a tip, I'm not going to leave a tip. If I want to leave it, I'm going to leave it, period.
Since some of y'all have never worked in a restaurant in your life and don't know how a tip out works and think that servers just always make a fuck ton of money out of thin air, let me break it down for you, because I don't think you understand. Okay, cool. Say, for example, I have a party of 2 that spends $100. A 20% tip would be $20, okay? But wait, I don't take all that home. No, because I have something called a tip out. Ever heard of it? Let me break it down for you. A tip out. It can be about 3 to 6% of your sales. Sometimes it's of your tips. But at my job, it's a 3% tip out on sales. So if my tab is $100, I'm tipping 3% out, which is $3. Now that 3% goes evenly to hostesses, bartenders, and food runners. But if you work outside, there's actually another percent, which is 4 in total. And that extra 1% goes to a server assistant. Anyways, let's say I'm working outside and I have to tip out 4% on that $20 tip that I got from the $100 table. Okay, cool. So now that $20 is now $16. But wait, there's more. There's always more. Because you see, I have a credit card fee in my job for some unknown fucking reason. And that's usually an extra 0.5 to 1%. So that $16 is now $15. But wait, I have to pay taxes too. So I'm probably making about $13 or $14 from that $100 table, from that $20 tip. So, if you're tipping me $10 on 100, I'm making $3 or $4. Fuck you. Order to-go food. Make some fucking food at home. Don't fucking come here and sit at my table. I'm a good-ass server. I'm attentive. I'm funny. I'm charming. I'm cute to look at, I guess. It's not nice. Makes me want to fucking... Anyways, I hope you learned something today. I hope we all learned something today. Don't be a fucking asshole.
Story time on why I stopped tipping and why I don't care to tip anymore. So I took my husband out to eat at Cheesecake Factory here in Hawaii. He loves the steaks there. I had a gift card. I wasn't going to use it, so I'm like, bet, my treat. So we got there, met our waitress, who was super sweet, or so we thought. We thought she was really sweet. We order our food. He, of course, gets steak. I don't even remember what I got, but the total adds up to like $165. And I have a gift card for $50. So when it's time to pay, I use my $50 gift card, and my total out-of-pocket cost was $115, because $165 minus 50 is $115. I asked the waitress, Iris, if they split tips. She says, unfortunately, they do. So instead of tipping on the receipt where she'd have to split it with everyone, I have my husband slide her a $20 bill just for herself so she can keep it all. 3 or 4 days go by and I check my account and it shows $165 is subtracted from my bank account from Cheesecake Factory. I'm thinking in my head, like, didn't I use a gift card? And not to mention, I have the receipt. So I call Cheesecake Factory and I tell them that I was overcharged and that I have my receipt with me. And if I need to bring it, then I can, because I'm not lying. The manager is going through the charges and he's like, okay, so I see that your total came out to $165. And I said, yes, but I had a $50 gift card and I used that gift card. So I only had to pay out of pocket $115. He asked me if I left a tip and I said I didn't leave one on my card, but I did slide the girl a $20 bill because I felt bad that she would have had to split her tips. Manager's like, okay, well, I see on here that you left an additional $50 tip. So I tell him, no, I did not do that. And once again, I have my receipt if I need to come bring it by because I'm not lying. And he's like, oh, no. You don't have to bring anything by. Like, I 100% believe you because this has happened before. He basically just lets me know how long the refund process is going to take and says as soon as that worker comes in, he's going to talk to them about how that's not okay. Like, why do you need to have a talk with a grown person about why it's not okay to add additional charges to someone's card? What is talking supposed to do if this clearly isn't the first time? So moving forward, I'm done paying with my card. If I'm at a restaurant, I'm going to pay with cash, and I am not tipping. I don't care if it is cash. I'm not tipping, period. I'm not tipping on my card, and I'm not tipping in cash. It's not happening.
Reaction time. This edition is grad night. Do servers ever get tired of complaining about the tips that they get? You know you're not entitled to any of the tips. Like, your tip out could be zero. Tipping is customary. It's not required. 20 to 25% plus in a tip means you are doing an outstanding job. It does not mean that you're simply taking the customer's order, dropping off their food, and giving them their check. If that's all you're doing for your customers, no, you don't deserve a 20 to 25% plus tip. Sorry. Honestly, I blame COVID because remember during COVID, we were expecting very little from our servers, but we were tipping out of really just pity, really high amounts. I feel like this is where the entitlement of tips really came from. And I really think that servers should just be thankful that they get a 5% tip or a 10% tip or a 15% tip. Like, that means that the customer said, hey, here's the amount on my bill. I feel like I want to give you additional money to say thank you. Customers' thank yous are met with servers just showing the receipt and complaining that they didn't get exactly 20%. Like, this was a $10 on a $100 bill. And she like rates this like a 4 out of 10.
So you're telling me that if you are a waiter and you work by tips, you're going to sit me down, take my order, not even come one damn time to check on my table, not refill my waters, not refill my drinks, not ask me how everything is, not check on me the whole time we are there, okay? And I'm in the wrong for not wanting to tip you? Let me know if I'm tripping that I don't want to tip you because you're working off of tips. And at the same time, you would think you would kind of give it a little effort to want to earn a tip. I don't need to just leave you a tip just because tipping culture says you have to. I don't have to. I don't have to leave you a tip. At least have customer service for me to want to leave you a tip. Am I the only one that agrees with that? If you are an ass and you're not being really taken care of at a restaurant, you're not going to leave a tip. I don't need to. Am I in the wrong? Let me know.
I don't know. I stand in the middle because I think that when you go to a restaurant to eat, it's nice to tip your server, you know? It's nice to tip your server. On that same breath, just because I went to a drive-thru to buy a coffee doesn't mean I have to tip you. I mean, if that's the case, everywhere I buy something nowadays, I'm going to have to be tipping, you know? But I think that if you go out to eat, it's nice to tip your server. But if you don't have enough money to tip your server, you're not supposed to be harassed or shamed for it. You know, you're not supposed to get shamed or harassed or even get kicked out or banned from the restaurant just because you didn't leave a tip. You know, you not getting enough wages is not my problem. I think that the service industry have to change the way they pay their employees. They have to pay them enough to cover their rent and everything else. You know, I don't think they should leave it up to their customers to pay the wages of their employees. I think they should employees to get more pay than what they're getting paid now. But that being said, we all knows that people that work in the service industry don't get paid enough. So if you go into the establishment and you don't tip, and I go into that same establishment and I don't tip, then these employees are not going to get livable wages. You know what I mean? Nobody is going to get any livable wages. So I don't know. It's just tipping thing is just, and people are going as far as shaming people for not tipping. I don't think you're supposed to shame anyone for not tipping. You know, tipping to me is supposed to be an optional. Tipping is supposed to be you saying thank you for serving me. Tipping is supposed to be on your own term. Tipping is not supposed to be required. Tipping is not supposed to force. No one is supposed to shame you before you don't have enough money to tip or you didn't tip. You know what I mean? People are saying that if you don't have enough money to tip, stay home, don't go dining, do to go. Even to go, you still have to pay. You know what I mean? You still have to pay. So I don't know. Let me know where you stand on tipping. Do you support? Are you in strong support of like tipping, or are you on the? Or do you think tipping should be an optional? Let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.